It's always an emotional time when a verdict is received. The message that the jury has reached a verdict in this punishment phase of the trial. Is that true, sir?
Yes, sir.
Anything else from the state of Texas?
No, Your Honor.
And defense?
Firearm, man.
The victim have an opportunity to allocute and make a statement to the defendant.
If your family gets me over at you, I have to go to a gravesite and go see him all over Southern. I have to live without him each and every day. I have to be able to face my children, be with them, and help them watch them grow up without Jerry.
Cause number 23 CR 156, the state of Texas versus Jaron Battles. The defendant is present with his attorney and the state's attorneys. And once again, thank you for following all the instructions, ladies and gentlemen. And I urge you again, there shall be no remarks. It's always an emotional time when a verdict is received, but we don't want to arrest anybody for improper actions or emotional outbursts. So please be careful of that, and thank you for following the rules. We're going to ask the bailiff to please bring the jury out. The record shall show that the jury is in the courtroom. On behalf of the jury, we have received a message that the jury has reached a verdict in this punishment phase of the trial. Is that true, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is this verdict a unanimous one? That is, one that is agreed upon by all members of the jury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do any of the jurors disagree with your foreman's representations? No disagreement appears to be evident at all. Please pass the documents as before to the bailiff. You may be seated. I will review for proper form and publish the verdict. The defendant shall rise. In this cause number 23, CR 156, the state of Texas versus Jaron Battles, we, the jury, assess the defendant's punishment at confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice for a term of 60 years. We further assess a fine of $10,000. This is signed by the foreperson on behalf of the jury. It is received as part of the record in this case and made a part of the record for all purposes. You may be seated. Jury is exited. Is there any legal reason why formal sentencing should not be assessed at this time, state of Texas?
No, Your Honor.
Or defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Battles, you may please rise. The defense. In cause number 23, CR 156, Jaron Battles, as defendant, you came before this court and a jury entered a plea of not guilty to the offense of murder as set out in the indictment. The evidence was submitted. The jury was charged by the court. After deliberating, the jury returned a verdict finding you guilty of the first-degree felony of murder. Thereafter, evidence on punishment was presented. The jury was charged by the court. After deliberating, they deemed your sentence to be 60 years confinement in prison and a fine of $10,000. Therefore, it is the judgment of this court that you are guilty in this cause number 23 CR 156, and that you shall be punished in accordance with the jury's verdict. Any legal reason on behalf of the attorneys that sentence should not be pronounced against the defendant, state, no defense. Finding nothing to bar the pronouncement of sentence against you, it is the order of the court that you, Jaron Battles, who has been adjudged to be guilty of the offense of murder, a first-degree felony, in this cause number 23, CR 156, and whose punishment has now been assessed at 60 years confinement in prison in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice's Institutional Division, and fined. Stand by. you will be delivered by the Sheriff of Jefferson County, Texas, to the Director of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, Criminal Division, Institutional Division, or any other person legally authorized to receive such convicts, where you shall be confined for 60 years in accordance with the laws governing the Texas Department of Criminal Justice's Institutional Division. You are here now remanded to the custody of the Sheriff of Jefferson County, Texas, until she can obey and carry out the directions and instructions of the sentence. The sentence will commence this day. You will receive credit for all time periods of detention as provided by law that you have served in accordance with this case. Anything else from the state of Texas?
No, Your Honor.
And defense?
Firearm admonition, Your Honor.
Yes. The judgment will automatically reflect that this was a decision, finding of guilt by the jury of the indictment of murder. In this is an element that it is alleged that the defendant used a firearm in the commission of this offense, and the judgment will naturally reflect, in accordance with these decisions, that a deadly weapon, namely a firearm, was used in the commission of this offense, and that would be reflected in the judgment. Anything else?
Judge, we do have an allocution.
All right. At the conclusion of a trial, members or people representing the victim have an opportunity to allocute and make a statement to the defendant. Go ahead and tell us your name, ma'am, and how you were associated with the victim.
My name is Esperanza Bertels. I'm Jerry Escamilla's mom.
You may go forward.
As I hear the verdict and everything that was said and everything I'm going through, my emotions are everywhere. It's like a roller coaster. You got 60 years, so my son is buried. If your family gets me to visit you, I have to go to a gravesite and go see him all over Southern. It was nothing. It could have been solved. Something could have been done, but I have to go visit him there in the grave. I have to watch every single one of my kids. They see them try to be the strong, because I'm their mom. I'm the one that gave birth to them. I've seen Jerry. I held Jerry. I watched him grow up. I got to see him. He was the love of the family, the one that always made us laugh, the one that in the parties, he was the one you could hear. He had the loudest laugh. I mean, he was a very loving person. And now I have to watch my children, my grandchildren, each and every one of them grow up without seeing him. His daughter just graduated with honors. She wasn't able to have him walk down the aisle with us. She wasn't able. None of that. Mia, the youngest, is not going to be able to see him in any real way. Everything, two families are shattered here, but I don't even know how to express how I feel and everything right now, because yes, I heard the verdict, but you still get a chance to come out and enjoy life. We don't. Our family was torn apart. There's nothing that we can ever do to bring them back. I have to ask God every day to get me up and give me the strength to be able to face this day. Nobody's ever prepared to bury their child. Nobody. And I just ask God to give the strength to each and every one of us to help us to get through this. Because I have to live without him each and every day. I have to be able to face my children, be with them, and help them watch them grow up without Jerry.
Anything else?
No, Your Honor.
The sentencing phase in the murder trial of Jyon Battles has now concluded, with a Texas jury unanimously imposing a sentence of 60 years in prison and a $10,000 fine. After previously finding Battles guilty of murder, jurors reviewed punishment evidence before reaching their final decision. The court formally entered the verdict, noting that a firearm was used in the commission of the offense, a finding that will be reflected in the final judgment. The judge ordered Battles remanded to state custody, where he will begin serving his sentence with credit for time already served. One of the most emotional moments came after sentencing, when the victim's mother addressed the court. She spoke about the lasting impact of losing her son, describing the pain her family continues to endure and the milestones he will never be able to share with his children and loved ones. Her statement highlighted the human cost behind the case and brought a solemn close to the proceedings. With sentencing now complete, this chapter of the case has officially come to an end in the trial court.